Saturday morning flight sim.
It's not morning, you drongo. It's evening.
Good evening, good day, good night. Welcome to Positive Rate. How are you doing today on this beautiful Saturday in Scotland? It is lovely. Very warm. Extremely warm as well. I'll be your host today. My name is Willy Canuck. How you doing? Great to see you. Hope everyone is doing well wherever you are. And if you're watching on Restream, please do click the like button for me. It really helps us out, and do subscribe as well. Join us in Discord as well. You can become a part of the Positive Rate family just by clicking on that link that's going to be popping right up in the chat. I hope you're doing okay. I'm actually quite busy this week, and I've had this week as well. I've had absolutely tremendous amount of work that I've had to do in my day job, and then and then I'm doing photos for the local town festival as well. So I've been absolutely rammed. I think I got back home last night about 1 o'clock in the morning. Bit of fireworks as well. Everyone likes a little bit of fireworks, don't they? Anyway, so we're doing something a little different. We're doing a what could be considered a long haul, but not in the sense of an airliner, but for this beautiful GA aircraft, which is the Black Square Duke. We've had this on the stream already once. It is absolutely fantastic, and we're going to be taking it up to its full potential. We're going up to 19,000 feet in this bad boy, and we're going to fly. And if you haven't made it out where we are, we're in Innsbruck. Big thank you to Orbx for allowing us to show off this fantastic scenery. It's really lovely, really nice, and I can show you what it looks like at night, just in case you want to see that effect. It is, yeah, it's a lovely, lovely little bit of scenery here, and of course, everyone loves Innsbruck for one simple reason: it is one of the more difficult approaches to land at. But today we're taking off, and we're going to get some fantastic views of the of the Swiss Alps as we depart and fly into Italy. So I'll show you what that route looks like. I'm actually going to show you on Valletta today because Valletta just looks really awesome. So here we go. So we are departing Innsbruck. Runway 26 departure today. I'm going to check those winds before we leave though. We will be, yeah, I think we're taking off kind of that direct, no, this direction, yeah. And then it's basically direct to our first waypoint. So but before we do that, we have to get high enough to clear the valley. So if we take off and just head straight towards Abruzzo, which is our destination today, we're just going to smack into the side of a mountain. We don't want to do that. But as you can see, we're going to depart. Lovely scenery. This is probably one of the more stunning routes that we've put in to the stream as well. As you can see, there's lots of mountains, and eventually, gradually, the terrain starts to calm down as we come into Italy. We're going to get some lovely views over some more of the populated areas in northern Italy there. So we break in over the water, past San Marino, and then down to Arsa. We're going to make a left turn direct towards Pescara, and then land at Abruzzo. And I think what we might do, because we're in the Duke as opposed to an airliner, is we'll probably come up, we'll check what the winds are, maybe do a left base or a right base circuit into the airport. Big shout out to Nighthawk. He says, "Morning, Willy. Happy Canada Day." Of course it is. Canada Day weekend, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Hope you got some nice plans for the weekend, Nighthawk. It's sometimes easy to forget that it's Canada Day because nobody ever says anything about it over here. Although I am going to I have an American friend who lives down the road from me, and he always puts on a 4th of July celebration. So we usually have a kind of combined Canada Day, Independence Day celebration together, which is very nice. Lots of traditional North American barbecue foods like Italian sausage and potato salad, all that kind of good stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing for our route today. Some interesting music here. And we got some news as well today. Not as much certainly as last week, but yes, we do have some news. Thank you to our news correspondent, Notlet2411, also known as Dan. Nighthawk says the Royal Canadian Air Force are having a massive 100-year anniversary. Wow. Fly past over Parliament on Canada. Fantastic. I wonder what well, I can presume the snowbirds are going to be there. And then maybe some military displays as well. That'd be great. Good to see. I don't think there's much variety in what the Royal Canadian Air Force has, really, apart from heavy lifting aircraft. So we'll probably see some Hercules and some star lifters and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're gonna hop into the cockpit. Sorry, bring the sim noises up a bit too. And so just making adjustments on my sound levels here. So we'll take off this stuff, and now we got to get we're gonna get engine 1 preload up. Put on the battery first. And nav lights come on there, and we'll put on the panel lights just to give us a little bit of illumination. I love the jiggling you get on these until you start powering things up. So we're going to put on the fuel boost. You should hear that kind of whirring in the background there. I think we'll open the window just to get some fresh air because we're waiting. I can hear someone around us. Who's around us? Can't see anybody. Oh, I can see Nighthawk down the end of the apron there. That's good. So I'm going to have a little bit of company when I'm flying today. And we will just we're going to just double check our fuel is on. It is, and we're just going to raise that left engine a little bit. Sorry, put our mixture up to full and our props to full as well. Oh, here's something big. Oh, it's disappeared. No idea what that is. Okay, should be enough fuel in the engine, so let's see if we can start her up. Well, I think we're a bit ambitious. A little bit ambitious, but put a little more fuel in. This is very true to life aircraft. This is you can't, it doesn't mess about. There you go. She's sparking into life here. And we get the generator on. At this point, we can put on our avionics. And when I start the second engine, I want you to watch the panel lights as well. This is pretty cool. So anyway, we can turn that pre-cooler off. Put it on the other side. Let's get the boost going on the left engine, or the right engine. Sorry, we're starting the left engine. Now we're starting the right engine. So if I said looking at the left and saying the right engine, apologies. It's been a long week. So what are you flying today, Nighthawk? I didn't catch what you're. See if we can go spy on him if he's still there. Nighthawk looks like. Oh, he's definitely flying a twin. What did it say? A C414. Good choice, sir. Good choice. I think that's a good match for performance for the Duke. Okay, we should. Oh, sorry, we got to bring that up a bit too. Give it about 10-15 seconds just for that fuel to work itself into the engine. And if you want to verify that, of course, you can get out this fantastic tablet here, and you can see that the fuel is just about to hit cylinders there. That's what we're waiting for. Just going a bit quicker. There you go. You can see it. So as soon as it gets to that point, you should be able to start up, and I'll show you the flicker in the electrics when you do this. Watch. Isn't that amazing? It's a fantastic model. Huge thank you to Just Flight for allowing us the opportunity to fly the Black Square Duke Grand Turbine. This one is or not Grand Turbine, Grand Duke. So this is a turbocharged piston engine. I was going to fly the turbine, but I've got some sort of weird bug, and I don't know if it's something that I'm doing wrong or if it's something wrong in the model. But I'm getting a whining noise, which is really, really loud, and it was kind of like that whining noise. You know that it's almost like someone's hitting you in the head with a hammer. That kind of noise. I thought I was absolutely losing my mind. So we are going to put the beacon on here as well. We should have actually had that already before we started the engines. You know what? Just to make it fun, we're going to use the pushback tool. Before we do that, we got to look at the runway and the weather here. So, big shout out to PMS 50 for giving us the opportunity to show off their fantastic GTNX 750. It's a wonderful add-on, which really gives you a wonderfully immersive and fantastic GPS and route management system. So we're going to bring in a flight plan from Orbx. I have put the route in into the chat there if you're wondering how we're going to get to Abruzzo. And let's see here. What am I going to do? What am I doing? Flight plan. So we go to flight plan, go to menu. I'm going to go to import. And import from SimBrief. This is a relatively new feature added to the GPS, but it's absolutely wonderful. So that is now going to SimBrief, contacting them over the web to see if it can pick up the route. And hopefully something magic will happen here. It says, yes, do you want to load LOWI, which is where we are, to Abruzzo? Yes, I do. Thank you. And there we go. And it comes. Can now come out of that, go to our map. That will give us a visualization of what we're doing. So as I mentioned, we're taking off runway 26 today. So we're heading this way towards the west, but we're going to have to climb and get out of the valley before we can turn direct to Brno, which is our first waypoint. And we'll show you how that works. So we want an initial altitude. I'm going to set that to about 12,000 feet. And then we'll make a judgment call as we're climbing up to see if we can get around those mountains and start turning on course. Prop sync can come on. I've turned on the pitch trim, absolutely essential if you want the autopilot to work. And then we'll put on our heat because we are going up fairly high today, and our cruise altitude today is 19,000 feet, so we're going to set that. I think it's actually already set there, so that's fine. Close that window just to spare our ears a little bit. Just gonna bring that music down a bit. Don't know if the music is too loud for you guys. Nighthawk says I'm flying the Cessna 414 if I can get started. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty close to runway 26, so I'm going to back out nose to the west, or nose to the east. Or the left? No, yeah, the left. The other left. Yeah, left. Sorry, we're gonna do pushback here, Ronald. So, hello, Mr. Pushback person. If you'd be so kind, could you please put our airplane right there? I'll be right. So here he comes.
Stand by.
Yeah, we were Cessna 414. It looks like an absolutely fantastic airplane. Unfortunately, we had to make a choice. I did want a high performance twin, and Just Flight was kind enough to help us out with that. So a huge shout out to Just Flight. It is an absolutely wonderful alternative to the Cessna 414, but certainly I do recognize the Cessna 414 is absolutely excellent. So we'll start that pushback.
Go ahead.
We'll just take a quick look around. Anybody behind us? All looking clear.
Please release parking brake.
Nope, I think we're good. You can go. And I like it how you get a slight accent when you're in a different country with these. I don't know how many accents there are actually for the pushback tool, but it's pretty good. Of course, I have the paper one, the one you get from Aerosoft, but there is still, I believe, a free version of the pushback tool on flightsim.to. You can see all the different variants of aircraft you get here. It looks like a Falcon 70, Falcon 1. I don't know. There's Nighthawk waiting in tow. How are you getting on with starting the airplane, Nighthawk? You getting there? Okay, everything's looking good. That is just final checks. The cow flaps.
Please set your parking brake.
I shall do indeed, sir. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Go grab a coffee. You've done a great job. Okay, props are full. Fuel is rich. We will need to lean that out as we get up higher in the altitude there. Parking brakes are still on. That's fine. Prop heat, we don't need, well, we'll do that as we go up, but it looks like it's an absolutely clear day. The weather is looking fantastic, so I'm hoping to get some lovely views as we get up to altitude. And then we'll just keep an eye on conditions. If we need to put icing, we'll do that as required. Flaps, we can set those to our takeoff position, just so you can have a quick look at that. There we go. These are motorized. We'll just do a quick control surface check, make sure everything is working. Yes, it is. Oop. Good thing is I need to move my own controls here. The hazards of having your flight sim space is your workspace during the week. Yeah. Right, so there we go. That's all set up. And we got. Well, you just bring that back in, actually. Okay. Ready to taxi? Put on. Did that too soon, actually. We'll put on our taxi light. And listen to those lovely engines running to life. Wonderful. Okay, I think we need to do a backtrack on for runway 26. So we're going to come around. Nighthawk, hopefully you'll be not far behind me. Let me know what your progress is like. Okay, we're just about to enter the runway here, so we'll set the brakes on. We need to get some lights going here. Landing lights can come on. Beacon can now go to. We'll put on the recognition light to make yourselves more visible, and strobes. And you can't really see it in the daytime, but it does really light up at night. Oh, it looks like Nighthawk is right behind us, so that's perfect. But yeah, it's looks fantastic at night too. So you can kind of get an idea. Very true to life. There's the recognition lights alternating back and forth as we expect them to. Right behind me, he says. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Brakes can come off. We are now entering the runway, and we can see the windsock there. It looks like it's heading right down towards us at runway 26. So that is perfect. Because I'll tell you, there's one thing I will say about the Duke. It is very tricky in crosswinds, and I don't know if it's the rudders are super sensitive. I'm sure you could probably do something with your settings to kind of make that a little bit easier on yourself, but of course I fly all sorts of different aircraft, and I don't have the patience, I guess, to set up different profiles, but I should do that really. So if you know anybody has really good settings or tips for the Black Square Duke, do let me know in the chat. Sorry, I'm definitely not doing a traditional taxi here, am I? Okay, we are almost there. I might as well do a formation takeoff. It's up to you. Don't know if he's come onto the runway or not. I think he's waiting. I think Nighthawk's waiting. So I think what we'll do is we'll just we'll get ready to take off. Because I think Nighthawk, you might be a little bit quicker than me in that 414. I'm not entirely certain. Okay. So just a quick look around. Final checks. Lights are on. Pitot heat is on. Happy there. Fuel boosters are on. Cowl flaps are open. We will close those once we get up to altitude. And I think we're good to go. So what we're going to do, we'll take off plan. We're just going to guide ourselves down the valley manually initially, and we'll put ourselves onto a climbing track before we turn on to Abruzzo. Anyway, a little bit of power. Brakes off. Listen to those turbocharged engines fly into life. Waiting for 103 is where we want to be really to take off. Round about there. Just gradually lift her up. Positive rate, gear up. Nighthawk's rolling behind me. We're going to get some lovely views of those beautiful mountains surrounding us. Nice climb rate too. It's got excellent climb performance. 2,000 feet per minute is not a problem. But where we want to get is about 140. We can raise the flaps as well, by the way. Want to get to about 140 knots. That's where you're trying to settle to. So that works out to about 1,500 feet per minute usually. There we go. Now we've got a clear shot of the mountain. So we're just going to what I haven't done. Trim it out, just trimming it out. Set our heading bug here. Around about there, we're going to arm the autopilot. Autopilot now has control flying us on heading. And we're nowhere near the GPS track yet, so what we have to do is wait until we're getting up closer about the top of those mountains, and then we can start turning towards Abruzzo. And Jamie's coming. He says, "Good morning, doing Heathrow to Barbados." Wow, you love the long hauls, don't you? What are you flying today, Jamie? Did you get the 777? It's just every stream that I've been watching this week, it's like 777, 777, 777. I'm actually, it's kind of nice just to go back to the Duke just for something different. Okay. And as I said, we do have some news. We'll wait till we get up to our cruising altitude of 19,000. Jamie says, might get the 777 in the summer. Only one more week for us. Oh, awesome. Yeah, in Scotland, all the primary and secondary schools have finished for the summer. So that yesterday was the last day. And my son's going up to high school now. So they had a bagpiper pipe out the kids for their final exit from their primary school. It was really good. Lots of tears, not amongst the children though, just the parents. Passing 7,000 feet. And as I mentioned, I mean, the climb performance on this is fantastic. 140 knots, that's where we wanted it to be roughly. So looks like we've actually hit that spot on. And little by little, we're getting closer to our clearance altitude for those mountains. I think roughly you want to be around 9 to 10,000 feet is typically what you're aiming for. So we're already at 8,400. Doesn't take long in this airplane. We'll probably turn off the recognition lights. We'll just go back to beacon there. Taxi lights can come off. Leave landing lights on just now. Just do an audio check. Is everything okay? Am I too loud? Am I too soft? Music too loud, too soft, etc. Just give me a sound check there, so I know what's going on. Okay, there's our minimum safe altitude. So once we hit 10,000, I'm going to start steering us towards our route. Actually, there's a freeze. A lot of people mention freezing now. Yeah, there we go. So we can start turning on route. Look in the wrong direction. And we're just going to head direct for Breno. So I'm just going to do that by heading for the time being. And just get some of those lovely, lovely views. Look at this. We wave goodbye to Innsbruck. Bye-bye. You can see there's not much snow left there. Beautiful, beautiful green mountains in the summertime. I can see night hockey's already turned on course. That 414 hasn't taken long to get up there. Look at that. A beautiful shot between the engine and the fuselage there. And Jamie says, I got FS2 Crew for the Fenix last week. Great software. Yeah, a lot of people really like that. There's an immersion pack coming out, which is in the news as well. Look at those mountains, guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Amazing. Okay, we have hit 12,000. Our cruise altitude today was set for 19, so we're going to do that. Because we're still on autopilot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give instruction to the pitch trim, and it's about 2 notches, I think 2 notches per 500 feet per minute roughly. So I'm going to give that 6. Did that do anything? Oh no, we got to put, sorry, it's on altitude hold, sorry. So the first thing we need to do is put it on attitude control. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see where that puts us. So that's giving us about, once it stabilizes, just shy of 1,500. So we'll give it a couple more nudges. As mentioned, we want to be around 140 knots. You don't want to drop below that when you're climbing. Nighthawk is just flying away in that Cessna 414. Everything looking in the green so far. We can start leaning out the engine now as well. So that reduces our fuel flow, and it's also you can see that fuel flow starts to drop right down. That puts us roughly, I think, is it, I can't remember, that's gallons per hour or something like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much cut our fuel flow in half, and there's absolutely no difference in performance. Could probably close the fuel flaps as well. So just so you can see where they are, they're right here. These guys. Close, was that the right one I was looking at? I'll close the right one. You gotta hold it down. Takes about maybe a good 10 seconds. So there is an actuator on it that you're moving. Alright, that should be enough. And if we go back, we can now see that as completely rolled up. And we'll just do the same for the other side. So boost pumps can come off. Climbing's starting to lean out a bit there, so we'll give it a couple more nudges. Like I said, the magic number is 140 knots. That's what we're looking for here. Still see Nighthawk floating. It doesn't look like he's too far ahead. Winds at the moment are working a little bit in our favor. We're getting a ground speed of 199, so that's pretty good. And yeah, we're really getting some lovely views of the mountains now. If you're a passenger, you'd probably see something like this. Worst ways to travel, eh? And look at all the lovely space. We could probably put out the table here. Maybe serve them. I've got a flask of coffee that they can tuck into if they want. We've got a little reading light there too if we need. The mountains are beautiful. Yes, they are. Get me a sick bag, says Dark Fury. How you doing, sir? Yeah, absolutely beautiful, beautiful scenery on this route. Now let's just do a quick check on our nav. We're not far away, so I'm going to arm that nav now. The airplane will continue to hold the heading. We are in GPS mode until it hits that track, and then the heading will, the nav will engage, the heading will blink off, and the airplane will turn us en route. Once we're settled in and we're up to our cruising altitude, I'll take a quick break, get some coffee, and then we'll get into the news. One drawback with small airplanes, though, they do get chucked around a bit more at altitude. So, Dark, if you're saying you need a sick bag, there could be a very good reason for that if he's a passenger. Okay, so as mentioned, we can see the heading hold is still on. We're waiting for that light to blink off. Then we know that the airplane has picked up the nav path on the GPS. Should happen any minute now. There it is. We can see the heading lights now come off. Airplane is turning. We're slotting in right behind Nighthawk, who is continuing to climb. We've just passed 16,000. Once you get up to cruise, we will we'll calm the engines down a little bit and the props into a nice cruise pattern, and you'll see that fuel flow come down even further. Dark says, sorry we threw the coffee machine due to maximum takeoff weight. No, I said I brought a flask. I brought a flask of coffee. I think coffee machine's a little bit too extravagant for a plane this size. That's like 17,000. Continuing to climb. Just taking that beautiful, beautiful scenery. That's one thing with airliners. As fun as they are, you just don't get the same views out of an airliner as you do out of a general aviation airplane. I mean, look at that, guys. What else could you ask for? And of course, with 2024, it's going to be even better because they're going to use artificial intelligence to generate some of the local rendering. So that it's not completely driven off of just a satellite image, but also has a little bit of intelligence on how to make the rocks look more rocky and the ground look more round. The asphalt look more asphalty. That's our altitude warning coming in, so we can turn that off. Just waiting for our airplane to settle into cruise. Winds are now coming directly across our nose now, so they're not really helping us out a tremendous lot, but we're still getting a ground speed of 184 knots. Which a turbocharged piston engine is extraordinary. It's an absolute beast. You don't expect them to deliver on Microsoft 2024? Oh. You think it's going to be... think the hype is too much, do you? Jamie says, last night at Heathrow I had to do a visual switch to 27 left first time. Oh, did you? Cool. Was that under instruction from Air Traffic Control? Okay, 19,000 is our cruise altitude. We can bring those props back just a little bit. A little less wear and tear on the airplane. Check our left and right engine. Our engine condition is 100%, so we've done absolutely everything correct by the engine. One thing I haven't checked is the temperature. And you might notice that's right, you might notice it's only 5 degrees in the cockpit. The Dark is in the back saying, I'm freezing my blank off back here. Can you please turn on some heat? So we'll do that. Get rid of that. Pressurization, air temp. I think everything should be okay. We should see that temperature starting to come up. Let's have a look. Yep, it is. It's already climbed to 6 degrees, so we'll let that continue to go. Sorry, passengers. I'm not trying to freeze you slowly. And actually, if we go to the cabin, you can see a representation of the heat. And we can see that temperature is already starting to climb a bit, so that's good. Jamie said, yeah, ATC instructed on VATSIM. Yeah, okay. So it was like a last minute change just to... I mean, it does happen. It does happen. They'll just say, you know, switch your track. It only works when you have parallel runways, though. They would never do it if you had a runway that was a different number. To my knowledge. So, but yeah, it absolutely does happen. I'm positive it happens quite a lot in Toronto, actually. Especially during busy times. Right. Just going to take a quick look at that before I go grab myself a coffee. We're going to back that way out. We will have our first main turn before we go south into Italy is, I can't remember what that airport is anyway. It's Lima, India, Papa Bravo. So we're actually already in Italy, guys. After less than 15 minutes of flying, which is pretty cool. We can start to see that scenery starting to calm down a bit. As we edge closer into the Italian mainland. Darth Fury says, yeah, it's always good practice. I have a few times instructed to do that on VATSIM. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think, well, you know, it's... and it doesn't really, you know, it doesn't require any change to your FMC. I think people probably get in a panic. They're like, oh my god, no, but that's not what I've got programmed in. But at the end of the day, you still need to be able to fly the airplane. That's why, you know, doing approaches into places like, where did we go last time? Was it Kefalonia or, you know, Greek Island or something like that? I mean, the airplane isn't really going to fly you into that airplane. It's going to get you close, and then you're going to take that airplane yourself to where you need to be. And you need to be able to do that. And I think the one thing that flight simmers forget is to know your airplane is to be able to fly your airplane manually. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing that for the entire route, but certainly for takeoff, you know, even if you just spend an hour taking off and doing a circuit and landing, doing touch and goes in an airplane. You can do that in any airplane. It could be a 777, PMDG 737, you know, Phoenix 320, doesn't matter. And Jamie says, yeah, I was really busy last night, fair enough. Leo says hi. Hi, Leo. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Do hit the like and subscribe for us. I'm glad to have you along, Leo. Are you part of the Positive Rate family? If somebody pop Discord in there, do join us. We'd love to have you along and have a chat. We are en route to Abruzzo. All the way from Innsbruck. And we're just about to turn on our final final main heading really down towards Abruzzo, which is going to take us over northern Italy and also over the water for a little bit. Leo says, "Yep, you are." Perfect. Perfect. Hope you're doing well, mate. And I'm so once we do that, I'm gonna grab a coffee. I'll leave you for a moment with some of these lovely views. Grab a coffee. Be right back, and we will do the news. So wait for the aircraft to settle. Just make sure everything's okay. Here we go. Isn't that lovely? And I'll give you a view out between the left engine there. How's that? Okay, guys, I'll be right back with you. See you in a minute. And I'm back. Did you miss me? Did you miss me? How are you doing? Yeah, absolutely lovely scenery on this one. We got some news to cover. Should we or shouldn't we? I think we should. and this is your flight sim news for the 29th of June 2024. Just Flight, as promised, and as I was told by Martin Northall on interview on Sky Blue Radio earlier in the year, are bringing their entire general aviation fleet to X-Plane 12. So this is the next entry that they're bringing through. The Piper Aero 3, which we love and well know in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's been a very trusty model for our fleet. Dark says right off, safe flight, bye, I'll take care, Dark, all the best to you. So yeah, they're bringing this to X-Plane, and this is great news for X-Plane 12 simmers who like the general aviation stuff. I cannot recommend an airplane more than the Aero 3. Is absolutely fantastic general aviation model, and it's a great airplane to if you're just new to simming. I think it's a great airplane to try out, because it flies very realistically, and it just gives you the basics, so you can move on to more complex things like the Beach Duke or the Cessna 414. France VFR, they are bringing out VFR airports for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is for the Southwest. I believe we have something from them for the North. So this is now the Southwest they're concentrating on. And there's some lovely views down here. You can see this is the type of scenery you're going to get. Absolutely looks fantastic. So yeah, do check that out. Don't know if it mentions where that's coming on sale. That might be Orbx. You can get it directly from their website. It is 39, just about 40 euros. So you get a whole bunch of airports for that. 32 locations. There you go. 28 are enhanced airports, and 15,000 traffic signs on the main road network. So if you want to do some VFR flying, I have heard that a lot of VFR flyers will use road signs below them, which is quite interesting actually. Because you obviously don't want to be too close to the ground, but there you go. Next, Aerosoft. Now, they've provided a status update on the Airbus 330. Not much to say apart from that they are still intending to release this for Flight Sim 2020, but they will be offering, as I'm positive most studios will be doing, a free update for 2024. I don't think the upgrade path for 2024 is anything dramatic, and quite frankly, if any studio, based on what Asobo is telling us, if any studio does charge for an update to 2024, I think there's going to be a massive backlash from the community. I don't think anyone is expecting it, anyone wants it. So, just be forewarned if you are a development studio. I am one of many in the chorus that will say we want free updates to 2024. This is not an opportunity with the version change to grease more money out of your customers. So now, I mean, if some devil comes out the detail and maybe Asobo hasn't been truthful about what they're saying, and the studios actually say, you know what, it is going to take a bit of work to get this into 2024, then fair enough. But from what we've been told, if we take it at face value, there shouldn't be any issue. So I don't know why they felt they needed to make this point, but it's good that they've obviously gone down the right decision. And of course we wait with bated breath for more details from Aerosoft about that Airbus 330, as we don't currently yet have a high close to study level Airbus 330 as yet. So there you go. Fly-by-wire simulations. This is interesting one. I think for a lot of people it would almost invisible, but they have done a complete overhaul of their FMS logic, and this is now getting much closer to the actual logic in the FMS that you'll fly in the 320. I think what it does do is it brings it yet a little bit closer in level to the Fenix. I still would think that the Fenix is better even with this update, but for a free aircraft, a free model, this is fantastic news. I myself and us on Positive Rate have used the fly-by-wire 320 since pretty much we started the stream. So yeah, this is great news. It will I think key improvements, I'm not sure if it mentioned, but I think it's just the way that the flight planning is done. So it's a bit more less goofy, a bit more kind of true to life, and Yeah, so huge shout out to the fly-by-wire team. We've got that fantastic news on the A380, and they continue to improve their initial release, the 320, which is fantastic. Parallel 42 is bringing out a immersion pack for the 777. Now, anyone who is familiar with the Airbus 320 immersion pack will know what this means. Unfortunately, don't have any pictures or video here, but they have mentioned that yes, it is on the way for the PMDG 777. So if you are a customer of Parallel 42 for the immersion pack for 320, or you're just interested in that kind of pack and you really like the PMDG 777, this is fantastic news. And there's a teaser image. You can see kind of vapor coming off the wingtip there, which is lovely. Last but not least, fly-by-wire shocked all of us with a full flight of the Airbus 380. It just seemed to drop out of the blue. I don't know if they actually did a presentation at FS Expo, or if this was just something that was... I think they did have a booth, though. So maybe this was something that was just playing at the booth. But my dear Lord in heaven, fly-by-wire, we are so excited. So excited. And I just thought I would cue it up to Takeoff here so you can see what this looks like. It's absolutely amazing. Just all the noises and everything that's going on. I almost want to pan the cockpit. I'm trying to pan the cockpit with a mouse, and it's a video. But yeah, the details. I mean, look, the MCP just looks awesome. It just looks fantastic, guys. And you're going to hear these engine noises now. Just in the background, that grinding noise as those blades break the sound barrier. So this has got everyone very excited. And I think it's a big deal because it says that they're not far away, guys. They're not far away. I think we might see the Airbus 380 this side of Christmas, which is super exciting. Super exciting. So yeah, go check out that video. If you go to the I think there's a fly-by-wire channel. You can find it on there, and go check it out. It's great. It's a full flight. Well, I think it's highlights more or less, but you will see you'll see the cold and dark cockpit prep stage, taxi stage, takeoff stage, start of descent, the approach, landing, taxiing into gate. You see all the good bits. It's definitely worth a watch. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. That is the end of the news, guys. Let's get back to the stream. Okay, and we can see just in talking through the news that the terrain is completely changed. The mountains are now behind us, and we are over rather flat land now. As we're getting towards the coast, we're going to our course is going to take us over the water. Everything's still in the green. All is looking well. Nothing to worry about. And we've even got the cabin up to a nice comfortable 20 degrees centigrade. What is that warning now? Oh wait, message waypoint. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I wonder if does that turn that off? Not sure. Oh, yep. It's flipped off. There you go. Okay. Nighthawk says we are all going to have very hard landings in the beginning with the 380. Nonsense, Nighthawk. Come on. until we get used to how high the flight deck is. Well, yeah, but you still got your radial callouts. The one thing that I learned, and I don't know if this will work the same with the 380, and it doesn't seem to show this in the video, but I tend to flare at 40 knots, 40 feet rather than 20, and that seems to give me a nice gentle kind of touchdown. It certainly works well in the headwind's 330, but you know, will that be the same in the 380? I'm not sure, but I'm going to give it a good go. And if I get it under 250 feet per minute on contact, I think I'm doing all right. But you know, it's a massive landing gear as well. It's got lots of suspension in it, so it's it's a bit more tolerant of harder landings, I would think, because there's a lot more give in the gear and a lot more shock absorption. Anyway, what we do need to check, guys. Currently on our plan, we are at 19,000 feet, but what we need to bear in mind is we will need to start dropping at some point. So if we go down to our sub, we can see neutral is actually where I started to set. That's 1800, so that's a good indicator there. And we want to drop down to 8300 for our sub, and then carrying on 6200 for Etrin. Bring that music a little bit. And then slowly descending towards Pescara, which is 36 feet above sea level. So, so we'll bear that in mind. We do want to set our altitude as well when we get there. We can do that by going on, clicking on the airport. This is the great part of it. Actually, we'll do this here, guys. Really see the power of the PMS 50 GTN 750. So click on that and we'll say I want waypoint info here. You can actually view the charts if you want. So if you got a Navigraph subscription, oh, I gotta set up Navigraph access first. Okay. Well, let's do that. We got time. System. Set up. Some brief. No, well, see brief. Charts. Connect Navigraph. Okay. Let's do that. Slash code. And the code is J. Proof. Wow. There we go. Okay, so we've got that connected. Now, let's go back to what we were doing. So we go back to flight plan. We're going to click on waypoint info, and we can view the charts here. So we go into rivals, and there's no chart available. Approaches, maybe. Okay, we don't have anything available. Okay, that wasn't so much fun. Let's see if we can do it. Hang on. Let's see if we can get charts for LOWI here. Just a minute. Let's try departures. There we go. So if we want to, let's say we wanted to look at the the OBD4H or whatever, we can just click on that. And there you go. There you go. Isn't that great? You can zoom in if you like. It's pretty cool. So that's all. It's all in there. It's all in there. But what we were actually wanting is the weather. And there is a bit of a. It's a bit of a pain to get the weather hooked up because you have to create an account on this kind of METAR service. But it's worth it because once it's set up, then we can just come into here. Weather data. Bang, there we go. So it is 1017. So remember that. We're at 10113. I think we're pretty much on standard at the moment. or 30.03 inches of mercury. And variable, so is it? Sorry, better just reading it raw here. It's 060. I think we had runway 4, so we're gonna have a slight crosswind, but mostly head on, 7 knots. I don't think it's too much to worry about, and we should be good to go. And there you go. We see runway 4, runway 22. And we can check no NOTAMs that we can see. I don't know if anything would come in with that anyway. And if you want, you can go to frequencies, and it'll give you the approach, the tower, and your ILS, Cat 1 for runway 22. Isn't that cool? Now, obviously, we're coming in from runway 4, so unfortunately, we cannot demonstrate the ILS today. But we've got just around 8,000 feet to play with, so, you know, I think we're going to do pretty good. Anyway, we'll bring that back to our map. And we can see that we're getting very close to Ardem. So we did have a it's our sub actually that we're worried about, isn't it? Yeah, Ardem's next. So yeah, we still got a ways to go, guys. As soon as we see a neutral will be our start of descent. So we'll have to work our way down to our sub. See if I can find Nighthawk in here. First Nighthawk. Have I passed him? Oh, he's behind me. Okay. Get you some nice window views here. Let's have a look. Oh, nothing on that side. There you go. You just imagine, you know, if you're some VIP sitting, you know, sipping an espresso or maybe a wee snifter of something. Nice brandy, you know. Talking about polo and kings and horse racing. I guess I'm just gonna step away for a couple minutes. I'll be right back. Okay. Hope everyone's doing okay. Yeah, some amazing views of the Italian coastline. Now, this is the part where we're coming in over the water, I think, yeah. Ooh, that's a funny line. And looks dead calm down there. What kind of speeds are you getting, Nighthawk? Oh, it just makes you want to jump on an airplane right now and get yourself down to Italy, doesn't it? So I do have a long haul coming up in the near future. We're actually going to be flying from, in real life, I'm going to be flying from Newcastle to Zante. And I'm going to replicate that journey when I get back on the sim. So we're probably aiming to do long haul. I think it'll be the 20th of July. So I will not be streaming on the 13th of July because I'll be out of the country. But hopefully Dark Fury is planning to stream that weekend. So you'll still get some positive rate, just won't be me. 170 indicated, yeah. Yeah, I'm about 180. Yeah, so I'm a little bit faster. That's good. I'll get yeah. I'll get some drone footage of you coming in for a landing then. Get our handy little pad to see how our engines are doing. Electric's on the green. Engine conditions all great. Oh, the electric cowl flap's still a bit open. There you go. So if you're closing it and you're not quite sure where it is, you can just do it that way. I didn't actually notice that before, so that's quite handy. Payload, I was going to do a fuel check. I forgot to set my block fuel. And we are a little bit on the low side, so I'm going to, I should have done this ahead of time, guys, so this is a bit of a cheat. But I'm just going to raise that up to 65 gallons. As we can do in the sim. Can't do it in real life. You get the fuel wrong in real life, you're coming in for a landing. There's no options. I do love, you can see the controls kind of rattling there. That's really cool. Is that altimeter working? Let's tap on it. Yeah, everything's good. Indicator speeds are alright. We could tune some VORs in here. Let's see if there's an easy way to find that. I'm not sure. I don't know if there are any VORs en route anyway. Waypoint info, Inc. Yes, there is. So that ANC Alpha November Charlie is on our route, but there's a frequency here at 110.65, so we can tune that in. Actually, I wonder if you can actually copy it. See, now this is really cool. So if you go to the waypoint info, you click on that, it'll actually drop it into the board for you. And you can swap it, and there you go. The VOR needle comes to life. So we're using GPS to track right now, but if we wanted to, does it give us a heading there actually? 339. Oh no, that's LOWI. Sorry. Bearing 146. So if we turn that to 146, our course, right? Probably about there. I could actually switch this over to VOR and arm the nav, and the nav will now keep it on beam with, you'll probably see a slight correction. Yep, it's doing a slight correction there. But it's now using the VOR beacon to take us towards Alpha November Charlie rather than the GPS. It's as easy as that. Very cool. Afternoon, Dan. How are you? Hope you're doing all right. But I think we'll keep it back in GPS modes. We'll arm that back again, hit the nav. Obviously, the radio track and the GPS track are going to be slightly different. Because we do want to intercept our waypoints along the way, so we don't just have Alpha November Charlie. But if we didn't have the capability of GPS, or the GPS simply wasn't working, then you do have that option. And also, you can see there's an outbound there, VOR, that was on a route, which is Charlie Hotel India. So if I go there, I can get waypoint info, jump frequency into the board. Now, what we should see is that needle will swing down behind us. Watch this. Isn't that neat? Dan says, currently sat in Costa with a latte. Oh, just had a fight with a lawnmower in the barbers. That doesn't sound good, mate. That doesn't sound good at all. And if we want to tune both VORs, so we've got the Charlie Hotel India behind us. We know that the frequency for what was the first one we were looking at? I can't remember. It was Alpha November Charlie was 110.65, so we can actually tune that into see if I can remember how to do this now. There's a way to change that. Way to switch that over to the nav radio frequency. I'm just trying to remember how. I think, you click it? Yeah, push it on the knob there. So that's going to give us our nav. So what we'll do is we'll copy that 110.65 into our standby there. 110.65, enter. And what we'll do is we'll swap it, and while the yellow needle is pointing behind us, we'll see the green needle swap to the front, in theory. There you go. So the airplane is able to independently track two VORs at the same time, which is very useful if you're doing a VOR to VOR course, which is getting harder to do nowadays due to the fact that they're just shutting down VOR beacons. But yeah, it also gives us an affirmation that the GPS. So if we're worried if the GPS is accurate, because sometimes there have been problems with GPS being jammed, we've now validated by pointing at the two VORs that we could get information for on the GTN 750 here, that we are indeed on track where the GPS thinks we are. If, however, these needles were pointing off on an angle, that could be an indication that our GPS is either being jammed or is somehow getting a false reading, or it's not aligned or something like that. So yeah, so it is a good double check, and it's great practice too if you want to practice tracking your VOR frequencies, etc. And likewise, if I'm going to actually switch that top frequency off. So we can also track the outbound radial and use that to control the airplane as well. So Charlie Hotel India is behind us. So if you go back down to that in our map, the bearing is 328. So if we take the reciprocal course of that, which is basically we're above 180, so 328. 328 minus 180 gives us 148, which is pretty much where we're going to tune that a bit more. And we switched, even though it's behind us, we'll switch it into V-lock and click the nav. The airplane will still track that outbound radial from Charlie Hotel India. And as mentioned, the radial is a little bit different than the GPS track. So knowing that and that's how we would initially fly that route without a GPS. We'd fly the outbound from Charlie Hotel India, and then once we could see that we were picking up Alpha November Charlie, we then have the option at whatever point to switch over to Alpha November Charlie. Usually, as soon as you pick it up, you want to tune it in because you're obviously flying towards it. And that's completely fine. So if I actually, is the frequency still in there? Yeah, it is. So if I flip that, so now I've got radio 1 on to Alpha November Charlie. It's now switched off the radio from Charlie Hotel India, and it's now flying towards Alpha November Charlie, which is a lot of talking for no reason, but we do have GPS, so we can just put that back in just to make sure we properly intercept our next waypoint, which is Lanley. You know, these are just things you can do and play around with when you're sitting up at cruising altitude in a GA airplane. Oh, man. So what happened to the barbers, Dan? What have they done to you, poor boy? Have they given you a mohawk when you didn't expect it? Have they shaved a swear word in the back of your head? Get some more views again. There we go, you can see some coastline coming. And according to FlyLive, we're 263 knots ground speed. That is extraordinary. You wouldn't expect that from a GA airplane that sits 6 people. Yes. Now, I need one of those latte stands. I can sip that latte while I'm sitting here thinking about the world, watching the Italian coastline go by. We do have a procedure turn coming up. Now remember, neutral is the waypoint we want to bear in mind, because that's going to be our start descent. We'll start working our way down as we approach Pescara. Lovely. One thing I did see got released in, I don't know if you picked that up, I didn't see it on FS News either, but the TDCI MD11 has just reached version 1. So I guess as far as they're concerned, it's now feature complete, which is interesting. I still have 2 minds whether I want to get it though, because it is, one thing, it's on the pricey side of things, and the other thing is just the whole altercation they had with A330 driver. The strange thing is, I've noticed EasyJet Sim pilot, our good friend Gavin, he's spending a lot of time with the PMD 777, isn't he? Is he finally converted over? First chance of flying a fly-by-wire Boeing, and he's jumped ship. And I was watching the stream. He said he really enjoys it. Really enjoys it. Oh, hang on. My dog's barking. Guys are gonna find out what's going on. I'll be right back. back with you guys. Nighthawk, good news. I have the Icona VR working. Bad news, I may have miscalculated my fuel. Well, I did too. I didn't put it in. But you can always add. Can you add fuel in the 414 mid-flight, Nighthawk? Does it allow you to do that? See if you can see him. Right, still behind us. Don't really know. Fueling is a little weird. Alright. Oh dear. You might have to land somewhere then and get yourself sorted out. Because yeah, I have noticed that depending on the models, sometimes you can't even override it in the Microsoft fuel menu either. It just reverts back. No fuel for you. I take it you're still learning the 414 then, are you, Nighthawk? I have heard it's pretty fully spec'd. It's very, very accurate. I'll tell you what, I was going to fly today the Duke turbine, but like I said, I've got some minor issue that's happening. I'm getting a whining noise, and I've actually gone to the forums because I couldn't find anything that referenced this in the manual. And actually, I should probably go back and check to see if anyone's responded to me. But yeah, it was absolutely confounded me what was causing the issue. And I didn't want that to happen on stream because it would have been it's a really annoying noise. It's like a high-pitched whine. Here's the forum. Yeah, that'll give me something to do. Community just flight. MSFS products, Black Square Island, just in Turbine Dukes. Oh, someone thinks it's an overspeed warning. No, nobody seems to know the answer. 4 people have posted, none of them have any idea. Say, oh, it could be an overspeed warning. No, don't think so. Anyway. Oh well, I tried. Oh, it's in liters, is it? Electronic in gallons and analog in pounds. Oh, God. Oh, God bless Americans, eh? Okay, there's our procedure turn. So that means we've reached Alpha November Charlie. And we're getting close to neutral, so we'll keep an eye on that. Okay. Still way off, but we can probably set our, I think our initial altitude was about 8,000, wasn't it? And with this, you can, if you push it, you can go by hundreds if you want. You don't have to go purely by 1000s, so it's quite good. Give everything a wee tap. Make sure all these guys are reading accurately. Why not? Something to do. Oop. We should be overland. Oh no, we're not, because we're coming over the Cape, that's why. Oh, yep, we are overland, just. Look at that, that's a great view. Lots of farms, seaside towns, beaches, wine, pasta. Lovely things. Oh, God, makes me sleepy. So, I guess general question, anybody watching, was there any surprises for you at FS Expo this year? I think for me, probably the biggest surprise for me was the Airbus 380, because nobody really had any information about where they were. We knew they were making progress, but I don't think anyone had any idea that they were pretty close to feature complete. At least certainly on the surface it looked like that. If you can carry out a full flight, you're not far away. You're not far away at all. See the mountains just starting to rise up in the distance over there? Can I get a wow? Look at that scenery. Wow. Oh well, I'll do it. I'll invoke the Nick.
Wow.
I might switch up the music a bit. See what we got. Give some blues. There we go. Nice chill music there. Okay, we're starting to get close to neutral, so I'm gonna pay a bit more attention now. Whoop! Zoom in a bit. And if we click on that, we can immediately get, this is the other really cool thing. So you click on neutral, you immediately get your bearing, your distance, just under 20 nautical miles, and estimated time to that waypoint's just over 4 minutes. So 4 minutes, top of the descent, guys. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Interesting. I have to read up more on that RNAV thing. I'm not quite sure how that works. That's one thing I am hopeful for 2024 is that we're going to get better weather and also weather radars actually working within airplanes. Seems a funny one that it's taken so long for them to try and work that out. It just seems like you'd think that would be one of the easier things to do, but I guess it's not. Put Snoopy in the doghouse. Make sure our heading bug's always ahead of us in case we have to switch to heading mode in an emergency. Stay on our track. You can actually create a waypoint here, which is really interesting too. I never knew you could do that. There's so much functionality in this. It's well worth the price. I don't actually think we have PMS 50 set up in the chat, but I'm going to drop a link for them. If you fly a lot of GA airplanes, I mean this. Any GA airplane that's coming out from Microsoft Flight Simulator now, this pretty much, almost all of them integrate with this now. It's well worth it. But I'll just drop it there. Yeah, do check them out. My good friend Pierre, big shout out to him. Wonderful guy. 2 minutes to neutral in our top of descent. And we'll be aiming for about 1,500 feet per minute down. Excuse me. Can't even open the window because the pressurization's keeping that closed. So that's by design. That's why the windows open up inside. With your pressurization, that just pushes that shut. One minute top of descent. See those mountains over there, isn't that lovely? Worst places to be, eh? It's quite the range too. It kind of seems to extend all the way along, if you can see there. Well, wish I could have tapped the compass. That's a shame. We just have the front visor. Okay, let's see here. 3 seconds top descent. I think we can probably get things going. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our throttle down a bit, but not too far, or you could actually cut the engine off. There'll be shock cooling, and the engine will just stop completely. So we see that airspeed starting to bleed off. So what we're going to do, we're going to switch to attitude control, and we're going to give it 4 notches down initially. See where that gives us. That brings us about 1,000. Another 4 notches. Maybe 1 notch for good measure, and that should give us about 1,500 feet per minute. There we go. Now we have to keep an eye on our airspeed here. We don't want it to. We don't want to get into the yellow side of things. We want to make sure we're in the green. And you can see the throttle's just around the halfway mark, more or less. And we should be about 8,000 as we get to A-sub, 6,000 at Etrin. So that's quite an aggressive drop. So actually what I'll do is I'm just going to take that down to 6,000 just so it starts to fly that. And then I think we'll take it by ear. So once we get up to close to the coast, we'll drop it to about 4,000. So you get eyes on the airport. And as mentioned, we're going to be setting up for runway 4. So if I go to runways 4. I don't know if it gives us the degrees there. Maybe not. Right, I'll have to go to charts for that then. So if I look on, well, we could go to Navigraph, to be fair. Waypoint info, airport. RNAV charts, airport info. Oh no, charts, info. There we go. Select airport. There we go. So runway 4 is what we were assigned. Zoom on that. That is a track of 34 degrees. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dial that. This we're on GPS track right now anyway. About there. So that's the runway heading that we want to go. So we know when we turn in, I think it'll probably be going a right-hand circuit, I would think. Back out of that. Let's go back to our map. Dropping nicely. Still about, as I say, we want to get about 1,500, so just give it another kick. Keep an eye on altitude. Once you drop below 10,000, we're going to start bringing the fuel back to rich, and we will also want to open up our cowl flaps because the engines will begin to overheat, and it is quite warm. So but apart from that, everything's looking good. Quick check in weather. Wind it's 8 knots now, but it's still running at 60 degrees. So again, still generally a headwind with a slight cross. We can also check if we go into frequencies here. Yeah, so there's ILS, but that's only for runway 22, so that's probably not going to do much for us, unfortunately. Almost looked like there was a VOR there, though. Oh, no, there is a VOR there. VOR is 115.9, so that might be handy. Oh, sorry, I'm making life hard for myself. 115.9 doesn't matter. 115.9. We'll put that in, and what that essentially does is that gives us an arrow, yellow arrow there, pointing directly towards the airport. So that's going to give us a guidance and just increase our situational awareness as we're coming into the airport. So we know it's always. Wherever we are, we know where it is because here the arrow will be pointing at it. Okay. Nighthawk, you still with us? Yes, he is. Oh, he's gating on us as well. Oh. Okay. Dropping through 10,000. Oh, we left the landing lights on. Oh, dear. Hopefully they're not, you don't have to retract them, so that's fine. What we'll do is, though, we'll put on our recognition lights. Don't know if you can see that in the daylight. Let's see. No, it's very hard to see. Decided to reset the fuel after warning lights came on? Yeah, good idea. Okay, I'm going to start bringing that fuel back to Rich as well. Going to increase our fuel flow, and we'll open those cowl flaps. You can see it moving up here. Okay, that's left engine done, right engine. And it just helps the engines keep cool. There we go. Put that away. It just configures us for our current altitude. We are getting close to our transition altitude as well, so let's get our QNH is 1017. There we go. Oh, sorry, that's 1017. I put 1117 through there. Silly. That's a big mistake, isn't it? There we go. 1017. Okay. Yeah, well, you gotta read all the numbers. Okay, RSIPs are final legged in Etrin. Plane will begin to turn shortly. And actually, we're well below 8,000 that we were planning for RSIP, but that's okay. Start to see that coastline getting much bigger in the window shortly. Speed is good. Now that we're going to level off, we'll have to think about bringing that throttle back up again. We'll wait until we get there. Okay, altitude hold is kicking in now. And we'll bring the throttles back up. That keeps our airspeed up. Ground speed, excuse me, ground speed 206 knots. But as the wind will be behind us, we should start seeing that ground speed picking up quite dramatically, actually. Gain another 11 knots on our tail. And of course, we had used the course needle to tell us where what the airport runway course was. The arrow facing the direction that we want to land, and of course we have the nav1 radio dialed into the VOR that's at Pescara. So using the combination of those, we want to do a right-hand circuit. And there's the coast. Anything else we need to worry about? Not yet. So approach brief is we will approach the airport 3,000 feet on the right side of the runway, which will be facing 22 essentially. Continue our descent to about 1,500 feet, and then do a right-hand circuit into runway 4, which is of course heading of 34 degrees. It's about there. Apart from that, just gives us a few moments just to take in the lovely scenery. After etching, I think we'll drop down to 4,000 feet. And we'll set the altitude there, or attitude control. And drop our throttles back down to half. And 4 notches on the downward pitch. Still roughly maintaining 180 knots. - 1,000 feet per minute is our descent, but that's fine. Once we get close to the airport, we want to slow the airplane down, so we're going to do that while we're flying level. Get down to about 3,000 feet. Actually, we'll probably do that now, so I'll set for 3,000. And we'll just bring those engines back, let the airspeed bleed down to about 120 knots. We'll put in the first stage of flaps. And we'll hold 120 as we're doing our left-hand circuit, or right-hand circuit. Once we come around, drop the gear, we'll put in full flaps and descend into Pescara. Nighthawk still behind us, descending nicely. Now the pressurizations will have dropped to close to sea level, so we should be able to open that window now if we want. It is 21 degrees in here, so maybe we could just cool off, get a little bit of fresh air. Once we level off, we're not going to bring the throttles up right away because we're going to use that opportunity to reduce our airspeed. Actually, no, I changed my mind. We'll maintain speed, I think. Still a few miles off. Okay, turn off the cabin temperature. Save our ears a bit. $3,000. No icing to worry about. It's a lovely day. In fact, our temperature is just down here, so as we're getting down, we can see, quite amazingly, even at 3,000 feet, the temperature is still managing to hit 22 degrees, or 23 degrees actually. Absolutely remarkable. So even at 3,000 feet, it's still pretty warm. So actually, I think what I will do is I'll put on auto cool. because I think we're going to need it. And if we pull out our tablet, you'll see that air conditioning now kicking in there. Okay, can't see the runway quite yet. But as we're getting close, I want to execute a right-hand turn circuit. So what we're going to do is, we know the airport is roughly just off our nose to the slight left there. So I want to increase the distance a little bit. So I'm going to switch to heading mode now. I'm just going to take us to slightly off to the right, just to give us a bit more space to turn around and fly past. And what I'm going to do is, once I see actually, no, change that. I'll play it by ear. Play it by ear. Any Hawk still behind us? Yep, dropping nicely. I could probably pick up our speed a bit. We don't need to be this slow quite yet. Okay. Actually, the interesting thing, we can use the VOR to track that, but that's kind of showing us if the VOR is pretty much spot on with the runway, which I think it's just off to the side a bit, but that shows that we're off track for 22 or 04. It doesn't really matter. In this case, it'd be the 034 radial. So that's showing us that we're now out of alignment, and as that pushes over, that's actually a really good indication. So once this yellow line kind of gets between the two final dots there, I think that'll be enough slide over to the right of the runway that we can get our right-hand circuit in nicely. So that's how I'll use that. I knew there was some wisdom in there, but I couldn't quite think about what I was trying to do. But that's it. So if and that's just using the VOR, so not the ILS or anything like that, just the VOR. Now you could, in theory, use the ILS for runway 22 to do the same thing. But unless you're actually going to use the ILS, I think it's always better to use a VOR. Because otherwise you don't have an ILS reference when you get to the other side of the airport. There's no guidance at that point. So okay. As I mentioned, I'm just waiting for that yellow bar just to get in between the two dots, and then we'll turn on the reciprocal course of 034, which is 34 plus 180, 214 is what we want to dial in. There we go. So that's the deviation's now where I want it to be. So we're going to dial 214 into the about there, and oh, runway's over there. Okay, never mind. Is that the runway? That can't be right. So it is. Okay, I totally misgauged that. So now we're doing a left-hand circuit. Totally misgauged it. Oh well, it's fine. There's the, I guess the city really, the city of Pescara. Getting some good views in there. A little bit of turbulence. Why are we getting turbulence? Because we are starting to fly over farmland and also some bumpy terrain, and that's going to send all sorts of weird updrafts and thermals at us. as we come off the water onto the coast. Whoop. What we do want to do though is we're going to watch for that airport in our mirror there. Hopefully we'll be able to see it. But we know where the airport is because Needle's pointing at it because there's a VOR there. And if we turn our N1 in, that'll give us our distance as well. So I think what we want to do, we'll wait until the VOR distance increases to about 7 or 8 miles. But in the meantime, we'll drop the airplane down to 2,000. And we'll start slowing that plane down. I'm going to drop it quickly, so we'll airspeed's going to increase here. A little bit of rocking and rolling to be expected. Distance from runway is now just under 4 miles. There you go. I think we'll probably try and get it for 6 once we bleed off the speed. Right. Once we hit 2,000, throttles are about halfway mark, and we'll leave them there. Let the airplane slow itself down. See, our speed's now starting to bleed off a bit. Dropping through 140. We do have terrain ahead of us, so we want to keep an eye on that. Again, we're just letting the airplane hold that altitude, 2,000 feet. Now it's 7 miles from the airport. We know where they're heading, where heading is, because that's pointing at the VOR, and that is the runway direction. Stu, hey there, he says, hi all, Willy Canuck, hi Nighthawk, how you doing, Stu? Great to see you along me. Hit the like for us, would you? We need to feel loved. Okay, 120 degrees, I'm going to drop out first stage of flaps now. Drag the airport, and we are going to increase the props to full, and we're going to put on our boost pumps as well. This is going to prepare us for landing. We can now increase the throttle safely. We've got that extra drag. We want to keep it around 120 knots. And coming off autopilot, we're going to start turning towards Pescara. I'm doing good, Stu. Yeah, long week of work, but it's finally over, and we're just doing some flying over Italy, putting the Black Square Grand Duke through its paces. We've actually run it as a proper kind of VIP commercial flight today. Okay, we have been climbing accidentally in there, so I didn't want to do that. Should be seeing the airport in sight shortly. There it is. We're going to drop our gear. Bring those throttles back even further, starting to speed up a bit too much. Let's back off the throttle even more, then gears down. Set an altitude 3,000, gets that alert off, and that also gives us our takeoff go around altitude if we need it. And now it's really just a visual approach to runway 4. Okay, I'm going to stay above blue line. And Stu's over there. You can see E-110. It must be some sort of helicopter. Thermals have definitely given us a bit of rock and roll, and I think passengers are going to need a bit of a lie down for a bit when we get on the ground. It's certainly getting shaken quite a lot. Whoa, there's an air pocket. You see that drop? Wow. Alright. I'm going to take music down so you can really hear the engines here. So far, so good. Little adjustments just to combat that turbulence, which is really chucking us around the sky a bit. Oh, it's a turboprop. Oh, okay. Put that yoke up so you can see the adjustments that I'm having to make just to keep the airplane in the air here. Okay, everything looking okay. Full flaps. See, with all the drag we've got, got the engines just about 50%, just below it. I'll keep it above blue line. Starting to get some buffeting as we get closer now. .8,000-foot runway, so we've got lots of room to play with. I'll drop to red line just before you cross the threshold. I couldn't see any VASIs or any kind of reference lights, so this has really been just purely visual. Welcome to Pescara, guys. Just need to find an exit now. I think we'll park right in front of the, I think that's the terminal anyway. Some aviation parking there. I thought what we will do is I'm just going to stop, see if Nighthawk's behind us. And we'll try and get him on the drone shot there. Oh, here he comes. Just caught him. And that's Cessna 414, which probably doesn't look anywhere near as good as it does, but because I don't have that one yet, so I can't really see it. A little bit of deviation off the center. We can forgive it. Okay, flaps can come up. We can drop. Landing light, taxi lights come off. Recognition lights just go straight to beacon, straight to nav. Boost pumps come off. Terminal. I think the terminal's up there. Yeah, it is, yeah. This is a really nice airport as well. We've been here before. Very pretty. We've been told to take the very last ramp here, so we'll head out. There's Stu. So we can park up beside Stu. Well, why don't we do that? Okay, parking brake on. Build a cutoff. Lights can come off. Nav can come off. Taxi. Panel lights. And you can do this within the cabin, but I kind of like opening the door here. So if I can go to the option to open these doors. Oh yeah, nose baggage, cabin door. And you can see that's all nicely opened up. And there's Nighthawk right beside us as well. Brilliant. Okay, I'll show you a bit of Abruzzo, just in case you've not seen this one. We have been here, as I mentioned before, but it's really pretty. And I quite like the externals for this. The internal modding isn't heavy, but it's nice. And it's, of course, I mean, it is a lovely airport, a small airport, so you don't want to see too much in it, but take it at night. And then you can really see that Abruzzo sign come to life. It looks really cool. Yeah, so, you know, the internal modeling's pretty alright. It's not too bad. And you got lots of cargo and kind of probably general aviation there. The runway's very nice. Taxiways look really cool on this one, I think. And that's where we'll bring things to an end. Oh, I can see, who's that? Smack Air. There you go. So, yeah, Stu, thanks for waiting for us at the end there. That was nice to see you. And Nighthawk, thank you for being along with me all this way. I hope you enjoyed it. It was our first, you know, proper point-to-point trip in a in the Grand Duke. Almost flying it like an airline route. And I did actually use SimBrief to plan that. So if you're flying the Duke, any variant of the Duke, you can go into SimBrief. There is an option to select the performance profile for the Grand Duke or the Duke, regular Duke or whatever you want to use, and it'll give you a route for it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, huge thanks to Navigraph for such a wonderful system. Apart from that, from all of us here at Positive Weight, wish the very best to you and yours. I will be doing a special dedicated flight next week, and we're going to be flying from La Rochelle which is an airport. I don't think it's an airport that we've actually done on the stream yet. So La Rochelle is in France on the northwest coast. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. And we've got a destination to choose. So tune in next week to find out what it is. Until then, have a great weekend. Take care.